Happy New Year to all of you. May you have long and healthy and peaceful life. And it's nice to be here. It's nice to be starting my year also of a conversation with all kinds of people from your platform. Wonderful. Looking forward.
Something that really surprises all of us is that you still manage to shine even at the age of 66. Today, you enjoy the position of being one of the most sought after senior actors in Bollywood. But you have had your fair share of struggles as well. You've slept on beaches and railway platforms. Why you left no stone unturned to entertain us with your performance in Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, little did we know that you were suffering from facial paralysis. So, would you like to tell us more about this incident? How do you face such struggles in your life? What keeps you motivated despite such challenges?
By having a chat with younger people, I like your introduction. It's fantastic, but I think there's nothing called senior and junior. Yes, in terms of years, I have spent 37 years in movies, but I call myself a newcomer because the moment you take that seriously, the senior, legendary, and veteran and thespian, uh, you unfortunately stop learning further. You unfortunately don't keep your mind open because you're already burdened yourself with 522 films and things like that. I take life, I don't carry the burden of Anupam Kher on my shoulders because the lighter I am, the higher I can fly. Uh, you have no alternate. Means you can either compromise and sit home and sort of indulge in self pity, or you can say, to hell with it. Most of it stems out of your background. I was born in a family which believed in optimism, which believed in happiness. We were very poor. My father's per month income was 90 rupees, and we were a family of 14 people in a small room. And yet we were happy. My grandparents, uncle, aunts, everybody used to live together. And when you're poor, I said to my grandfather one day, I said, we are very poor. Why are we happy? He gave me a fantastic answer. He said, when you're very poor, the cheapest luxury available is happiness. Happiness has nothing to do with what your status is financially or otherwise. The other thing that my father did was he took away the fear of failure out of my life. I was not very good at studies. I never got more than 38% marks in my life. Never. I was not very good at sports also. I used to play all the sports, but I did not excel in them. One day, in fact, my PT teacher saw me running and he told me to stop it because even if I run alone, I'll come second. That's what he said. And he said, 59th in your class. I said, yes, sir. Yes, dad. So he said, how many students are there in the class? And I said, 60. Now I thought he's going to give me a firing of my life. But after a long pause, he said to me something most amazing. And he said, anybody who comes 59th can always come 48th, 37th, 25th, 18th. So do me a favor, next time come 48th. And then he added one line which took away the fear of failure for the rest of my life. He said, failure is an event, never a person. So when from a 15-year-old, 16-year-old boy's life, these are the two most important lessons that happen, then nothing bothers you. Because today's generation or generation of today or the earlier generation also, they are so scared of failure. And I get very sad that when I see parents not happy with children getting even 90% marks. Now, I'm sure those 80 or 100 people who have joined here, all of you have more than 50% marks, and yet I am the guest of honor and you people are listening to me. So it has nothing to do with with marks. It is what your attitude towards life is. I have great sense of competition, but I'm also don't take life so seriously. The world will not come to an end if you 100 people don't get impressed by my conversation today. I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to share my knowledge, or maybe I've led my life in a different manner. The problem comes when you want to impress people. You can't do that because personality, according to me, is somebody who's comfortable being who you are. And I'm here to have a conversation, a chat with you. So that's how I deal with my life.
Your optimism, positive attitude, and the way you embrace failures reminds me of the incident where your father celebrated your failure in class 10th. So, would you like to share the incident with all of us today and also tell us how that day impacted your life? What does failure mean to Anupam Kher?
That was in 10th. That was in 10th grade. Then 2 months gap, then the result will come. But in the meantime, you will be promoted to 11th grade. So you will be sitting in the 11th grade for 2 months, and after that, if you fail, you will be brought back to 10th grade, which was the biggest demotion a young boy could feel. So my father knew somebody in education board. That was one part of the story. The other part of the story is because 14 of us in a small room, there was a Alpha restaurant on Mall Road in Shimla. It was a very high profile. I'm sure there is one in where you live, and there is one in other people places. Where in those days, if you go to Alpha, means you are happening. So we used to go as four people in our family, four immediate members of our family. My father, my mother, my brother, and I. We used to go to Alpha restaurant once in 6 months, and we used to order the same thing every time: mutton samosa, pineapple pastry, and espresso coffee.
Yes.
And we used to just sit and chat. ऐसा कोई हमारी intellectual conversation भी नहीं होती थी, हम एक दूसरे को गले भी नहीं लगते थे, पर लगता था कि यार आज हम 14 में से 4 लोग साथ में बैठे हैं. After we had finished eating, my father will put 50 paisa as the tip. So we had just gone there 2 months back. Now I knew in my mind that I will go there after 4 months. So I was sitting in my 11th grade. My father came to the school and he said, at 3 o'clock, I was in the class, and he said, "Chutti karte hain." So I said, my father is helping me in running away from the school. I said, okay. So as we got out of the school, so he said, "Kahan chalega kuch khane pine?" Now in mentally I said, I can't ask him to take me to Alpha because we have to go there after 4 months. So I said, let's go to Nathu Sweets. He said, नहीं Alpha चलोगे? अच्छा पर हम तो अभी 2 महीने पहले गए थे. कहते नहीं चलते हैं. तो जब हम वहां गए तो मुझे लगा कि अब ये सिर्फ 3 चीजों में से एक चीज मंगाएंगे. That's it. But he ordered not only for me but for himself mutton samosa, pineapple pastry, and espresso coffee. I said, "Are you okay? Because have you got a promotion? और आपका क्या लॉटरी लगी है? आप मुझे भी ये खिला रहे हैं?" नहीं, खाओ. And when the bill came, instead of putting 50 paisa, I put 1 rupee as a tip. Now I got really worried. I said, "Tell me honestly, why are you doing this?" He said, "मैं education board गया था, वहाँ तेरा result पता कराने, तू fail हो गया." So I said, मैं fail हो गया हूँ, तो फिर आप ये क्या कर रहे हो? तो कहते कि फेलियर तेरा सेलिब्रेट कर रहा हूं मैं, ताकि आगे जिंदगी में कभी तुझे फेलियर का सामना करना पड़े तो याद रखना कि तू कभी भी मटन समोसा, पाइनएप्पल पेस्ट्री और एस्प्रेसो खा सकता है, मंगा सकता है. सो दिस इज द बेस्ट लेसन दैट अ फादर कुड गिव हिज सन. आज भी जब मुझे लगता है कि कोई चीज अच्छी नहीं गई है तो मैं तीनों में से एक चीज तो मंगा के खा ही लेता हूं, एंड आई फील बेटर. So I think the best education has come from my parents, my grandfather, joint family, and I would like to say that I'm sane in terms of dealing with ups and downs of life.
Coming to your book, Your Best Days Today, it is written so well, so positively. While the world was suffering from COVID-19, you found the silver lining. So, an obvious question which comes to my mind is, if you were an actor, what really motivated you to write this book? Then I started doing my research, and in one of your previous interviews, you mentioned when, in your early days when you did not have that much work, you used to read a lot of books, especially autobiographies. They really motivated you. So, if I may ask, was that the same aim when you were writing your book? Did you also want us to feel motivated from your struggles and your achievements? And also, which is your favorite autobiography?
My first book in 2011, title of that was #1 bestseller. But The best thing about you is you. I wrote my second book in 2019, which is my autobiography, which was called Lessons Life Taught Me Unknowingly. But when the pandemic happened and I came from New York to India, and I had never seen Mumbai like the way I was seeing it, deserted, nobody at the airport, people not coming out of their places, I got frightened. To get rid of my fear, I started writing. As an actor also, जब मुझे difficult dialogues याद करने पड़ते हैं तो मैं उनको लिखता हूँ और मेरी सारी किताबें जो है वो मेरी जिंदगी से जुड़ी हुई. द बेस्ट थिंग अबाउट यू इज यू का टाइटल मुझे मेरी माँ ने मिला था जब हम 5th या 6th स्कूल में ग्रेड में थे. वो हमें स्कूल छोड़ने जाती थी, मुझे और मेरे छोटे भाई को, और एक छोटा सा टिफिन में जिसमें दही और राइस होता था, वो स्कूल के गेट के पास जब देती थी डब्बा, और जाते समय बोलती थी कश्मीरी में, चोन आजुक दर्चु सारनी को जान, which translated into your best days today. So for us, if the mother declared that your best days today, तो हम पढ़ाई में कुछ करते थे कि नहीं करते थे, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज में कुछ करते थे, पर हमें ये लगता था कि माँ बोल के गई है your best days today. So that's where the title came from. And it's about how I dealt with COVID. COVID put a fear of so many things in us. Lots of fear was imaginary. Fear is 80% imaginary, 20% reality. और हम उस fear को multiply करते हैं अपने मन में, अगर ऐसा हो जाए तो ऐसा कैसे होगा. तो by writing it down, by jotting it down, I dealt with it nicely and I had third book ready. As regards my favorite autobiography, I think Charlie Chaplin's autobiography is very nice. I think Van Gogh's biography called Lust for Life is very good. There is Maxim Gorky's childhood days is very, very nice. There's a very famous Swedish actress called Ingrid Bergman. उसकी एक किताब है My Story, वो बहुत important है. मैं अपने स्कूल में अपने बेंच पर और डेस्क पे वो कैंपस से अपना नाम ऐसे वो लिखता था, स्क्रैप करके लिखता था, और मैं अपने दोस्तों को बोलता था कि बहुत साल बाद जब कोई यहाँ इस बेंच पे बैठेगा तो वो कहेगा कि अनुपम खेर यहाँ बैठते. सो आई थिंक स्मॉल छोटे शहर में ड्रीम करने का बहुत मौका मिलता है. चीरियोज बुक ऑफ सनसाइंस आती है, चीरियोज या कीरियोज व्हाटएवर यू ट्रांसलेट, उसमें 15 फेमस लोगों के नाम होते हैं जो आपके साइन में बॉर्न होते हैं. आई एम ए पाइसियन, तो मैं 16वां नाम अपना लिखता था. So I was saying that when you see a thing on OTT platform or a cinema or television, the interpretation is of the makers. You see, एक कमरे में आपको दिखाई देता तो कमरा पता है, but अगर एक किताब में लिखा हो on a dark wintry night, this man wearing a suit stood under a lampshade, took out a packet of cigarette and lit it and moved on. तो जितने भी लोग यहाँ जुड़े हुए हैं सबकी डार्क विंट्री नाइट डिफरेंट होगी, वो आदमी की शक्ल डिफरेंट होगी, सूट डिफरेंट होगा, लैंप डिफरेंट होगा, सिगरेट अलग होगी और चलने का अंदाज डिफरेंट होगा. तो किताबें जो हैं उन्होंने मेरी एक्टिंग में भी मेरा साथ दिया है, मतलब हेल्प मी अ लॉट, एंड आल्सो दे हैव हेल्प्ड मी अंडरस्टैंडिंग अदर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स.
Almost all of us agree here that when the pandemic happened, there were a lot of negative thoughts that we had to deal with. Be it unpleasant thoughts, fear, negative thoughts. You know, from losing someone close to us getting the virus. There was so much of negativity. And we usually convinced ourselves that everything is going to be okay, life is good. But you have told in your book that one should deal with these negative thoughts. One shouldn't say that everything is fine. Take some time, deal with these thoughts. So I want to ask you, how do you deal with these unpleasant thoughts? And if you could elaborate on this.
By feeling unpleasant about them, by being frightened. A courageous man or a बहादुर इंसान ऐसा तो नहीं उसको डर नहीं लगता है, उसको डर लगता है, और वो अपने एटीट्यूड से उस डर को ट्रांसफॉर्म करता है. जो आदमी माउंट एवरेस्ट को फतेह करता है, ऐसा नहीं कि उसको चढ़ते चढ़ते डर नहीं लगता कि मैं गिर जाऊंगा तो मैं मर जाऊंगा, मेरी टांगें टूट जाएंगी या कुछ हो जाएगी, मगर वो गिव अप नहीं करना. गिविंग अप इज नॉट एन ऑप्शन. और जब आपने वो बात की थी फेशियल पैरालिसिस की, तो आप बस शूटिंग फॉर हम आपके हैं कौन, एंड वी वर टू स्टार्ट दैट मेजर सीक्वेंस जहां वो पहला दिन था। हाँ, तो मेरे को मैं अपने दोस्त अनिल कपूर के यहाँ खाना खा रहा था, तो उनकी वाइफ सुनीता ने मुझसे एक दिन कहा कि उस दिन रात को कहा कि अनुपम यू आर नॉट ब्लिंकिंग फ्रॉम वन आई। सुबह
राइट।
जब मैं ब्रश करने लगा तो मैंने नोट किया कि जो टूथपेस्ट है, वो जो फोम है, वो मेरे मुंह से अपने आप ही बाहर निकल रही है। Then I went to meet यश चोपड़ा जी। मैंने कहा जी सर, मेरा चेहरा लेफ्ट में कुछ ज्यादा ही शिफ्ट हो रहा है। He looked at me and he said, why don't you go and meet this doctor Singhal in Mumbai hospital, Bombay hospital. So I went there. Dr. Singhal examined me and he said, you have facial paralysis. You have to shut shooting for 2 months. You can't shoot. There is, आप जानती हैं, आप जितने भी सब लोग जुड़े हैं वो सब जानते हैं कि एक्टर्स को थोड़ा सा पिंपल भी निकल आ जाता है तो वो शूटिंग कैंसिल कर देते हैं, not because of anything else but also because face is important. But so he said, take these medications and just leave, stay at home, don't go anywhere. You need that rest for 2 months. When I sat in the car, I had two options. One is to listen to Dr. Singhal's advice and stay at home and not do anything for 2 months. But I did not take that option. मुझे लगा कि अगर मैं ये आज करूंगा तो मैं पूरी जिंदगी जब भी कुछ बीमार होऊंगा मैं उससे डर के फिर मैं छुप जाया करूंगा. So I went to Filmistan studio where the shooting was taking place. I told Suraj Barjatia, who was the director of the film, along with Salman and Madhuri, and I told them, भाई मेरा ये situation है, मेरा मुंह टेढ़ा हो गया, इसको 2 महीने लगेंगे. I am ready to shoot. तो सूरज was very considerate. He said, नहीं हम set खड़ा रखते हैं अगर आप नहीं कर सकते तो. But I said, no, I'm ready. So if that day I had gone home and stayed at home for 2 months, that would have become the pattern of my life. हम डर से ज्यादा डर से डरते हैं. The fear of fear is much more fearsome than fear itself. You know. And recently 5-6 years back I met a psychiatrist for some personal reason. He said, stop making stories. Don't make stories. We make stories. हम अंधेरे में जा रहे होते हैं, छोटा मैं I'm just giving you a regular example. अंधेरे में जा रहे होते हैं तो हम इमेजिन करते हैं कि जो पीछे से आवाज आ रही है ये कुछ गड़बड़ है. So that keep on. You have to confront fear and you have to confront your weakness and see what is happening. So people who are bahadur does not mean they are not scared. People who are always optimistic or laughing does not mean that they don't feel sad or depressed or lonely. But at the end of it, your decision about how you're going to deal with these situations makes you the person that you are.
Do you believe that maybe a walk in the park or meditation can help us deal with these negative thoughts?
Exercises do help. You need to be nice to people. For me, that is meditation. You need to be compassionate towards people. That is my meditation. You need to listen to other people. That is my meditation. You need to not get angry. That is my meditation. So I need to practice all these emotions rather than meditate and then have no compassion. So I practice meditation by being a certain kind of a person that I think I should be.
And sir, आपके घर का नाम I think Bittu है. है ना?
जी, आपके घर का नाम क्या है?
Nona, because it's Ananya. So there's
आप सडनली कॉन्शियस क्यों हो गई? आपने मुझसे तो बड़ा साफ पूछा कि आपके घर का नाम शायद बिट्टू है. जब मैंने आपसे पूछा कि आपके घर का नाम क्या, आप सोचने लगी, जबकि आपको पता था कि आपके घर का नाम नोना है.
Because अभी भी हम सोचते हैं ना लोग क्या सोचेंगे.
नहीं सोचना है. Retain your originality. Don't become somebody else.
Right. That's
So
right.
Nona is a beautiful name. Let your parents call you Nona also. Nona, you understand now?
During lockdown, you started a very interesting series called Bittu Meets Anupam, in which you represented your two sides. Bittu is curious, he does not know the real world. But Anupam is successful and famous. So, how did you come up with such an unique idea? And what exactly is this?
Because मेरे अंदर का बिट्टू जो है वो मेरी पूंजी है. आपके अंदर की नोना जो है वो आपकी पूंजी रहने वाली है. अगर जिस दिन बिट्टू को मैंने सुपरसीड करने दिया अनुपम खेर को, तो अनुपम खेर विल बिकम आर्टिफिशियल. Bittu is curious. Bittu is not affected by कि तेरे पास मर्सिडीज कार है या उससे वो मेरे को क्वेश्चन करता रहता है. वो अभी भी मैं जब बात कर रहा हूँ तो बिट्टू अंदर से बोल रहा है बड़ा इम्प्रेस कर रहा है. He keeps me grounded. So I don't ever want to lose Bittu, because the day I lose Bittu, I will lose my identity. So all of us, जितने भी मुझे भाई साहब अभी नजर आ रहे हैं, श्रीकांत जी स्वेटर पहन के, ब्लू कलर का और ब्लू कलर की शर्ट, अच्छा मंद मंद मुस्कुरा रहे हैं. आपके घर का, इनके घर का नाम क्या है?
सर मेरे घर का नाम मन्नू है.
तो देखिए मन्नू के घर, मन्नू जी, नोना जी, नेहा, हसीन, नेहा, मनसन भी हैं, सबके इनके सबके नाम है. वो अपने जो बचपन में हमारी क्यूरियोसिटी थी कि ये क्यों ऐसा होता है, ये क्यों ऐसा होता है, देयर हैज टू बी अ सेंस ऑफ wonder in us. As it is today, we have anything that we need to know, we just press Google and find the information. But Google can give you information, knowledge नहीं दे सकती है. Knowledge आपको जीने से ही आएगी, और knowledge आपको देगा आपके अंदर का curious छोटा बच्चा. That's why Bittu and Anupam's that series came. Apart from that, it was very entertaining. And unfortunately, we have stopped seeing fun in life. We have started taking ourselves so seriously. I don't take myself seriously. I think life is so beautiful, life is so funny, life is so unpredictable, but हमने अपनी खुशी दूसरे वालों के हाथ में रखी हुई है.